Okay, we'll start off here with the 6x6 square. Once again, this is the law passed by Thomas Jefferson for the Indian territories, known as the Northwest Territories, known as the Indiana Territories. Jefferson had it all mapped off into 6x6 sun squares, which, as we said earlier, is the total sum equals up to 666 on these squares. So there's your sun square. You can ignore this right here. This is taken out of an illustration. We're going to focus on this northeast corner up here. But anyhow, this is the section taken out of the Northwest Territories, the Indiana Territories. And this is a section taken out of Indianapolis. Okay, so this is one of the sections, one of the 6 miles by 6 mile squares. That's downtown Indianapolis. We'll be focusing on this corner here because this is where the city of Indianapolis is, right here. Okay, you have your 6x6 square of the sun, and this right here, this 2x2 square is called a devil's square, and it was also called the donation from the corporation, which was the federal government. People are saying now that the government has become a corporation, but the fact is it's been a corporation since the very beginning. And this section of land right here was a donation given to the state of Indiana, or William Henry Harrison, however you want to look at it. And that was called the donation from the corporation. And there currently sits at this crossroads a Circle City that has a monument that is supposedly for the Sacred Union, a Civil War memorial, but you'll find that this section of land was mapped out for this memorial long before there was even thought of a Civil War. So what was the plan for this donation from the corporation, this 2x2 square taken from the northeast corner of the 6x6 sun square? What did they have planned for this 2x2 square? Well, if you look at the Babylonian Tablet of Destiny, or the formula that they came up with for the Tablet of Destiny, you'll see that this is a 2x2 square done with the Babylonian sacred geometry to come up with a 1 mile square in the center. And it basically looks like this right here, using the Babylonian formula to come up with a 1 mile square in the center. Okay, and that's where you come up with this design here. You have to ignore these 2 marks here. That was what I was using earlier. But basically, it's a 13 house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is the center house, or that's the home of the goddess. 13 is her home place, and this will show you some of the pictures out of the book showing you that these magic squares have been around for a while. These are the Babylonian birth charts. They're 13 house astrological charts, and that's how they determine future events and past events and how they can forecast things. The center square of this 13th house is the place where what is being born, or it's the doorway. And this is where you put the planets and line up and see exactly how the planets are to influence the birth of that particular thing or item. So you'll see that that's what they use for their foundation. So now we see here we have basically 2 of the 3 steps. We have the 6 mile by 6 mile sun square, and in the northeast corner, the 2x2 square, the donation from the corporation that was given to the state of Indiana, was now designed in the same Babylonian magic gematria, or black magic, whatever you want to call it, to come up with this 1 mile square. Now this 1 mile square, they wouldn't just leave it as a 1 mile square. They decided to divide that and make it into a 5x5 square, which is a Mars square. So they've taken the 2x2, using the old Babylonian formula. They designed a 1 mile square in the center, and in that 1 mile square they placed a 5x5, which looks like this. And I'll zoom in on that so we can get a better understanding. That is what is up there. So you can see here, close up of this, you'll see that in the northeast corner of the 6x6 square, they have a 2x2 square, and in that 2x2 square, they placed a 5x5 square right at the center in the 1 mile square. So that makes up your 3 steps. There's the 3 steps: 6x6, 2x2, and the 5x5. And that is the 3 steps, or 3 talismans, one stacked one on top of the other. And that is how they've done it right there. And you'll see no matter how they put the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they always match up. 13 always comes in the center. So what you have is you have this 2x2 square, which has this 13 house and the house of the goddess, and then on top of that they put the 5x5 square, which is in this 1 mile square. It's a 1 mile square, but they made it into a 5x5 square, and the center square on that is 13. So you have a 13 sitting on top of a 13. And also, which is interesting about these 13s, is you have the 6x6, the 2x2, and the 5x5. 5x5, the 2x2, and the 6x6. You add it up, and it's 13 times 13. So you have a 13 times 13, and a 13 on top of a 13. So you got like triple 13s here. So 13 colonies. Excuse is just a bunch of rubbish. This is actually the foundation of Indianapolis and how they did it, the donation from the corporation. And just like the Tower of Babel, they have 3 talismans, one stacked on top of the other. The beast square, the 6x6 sun square, the 2x2 double square, making this a tablet of destiny, a Babylonian horoscope. And then the center square of the birth chart is the Mars square. So they've actually given birth to Mars, the god of war. And that's why in this center square, this number 13, that's where they have the monument to the war goddess. They have an obelisk right here, magic circle. They have the obelisk standing there, and they have the Roman goddess of war on top of the erect phallic symbol of the god of war, the Roman god of war, which is Mars. So this is his house sitting on top of her house. And this is actually a modern-day version of the Tower of Babel. This is the donation from the corporation. The 2x2 double square that was donated by the corporation. You can see that here in this corner. Maybe you can't. It's not a very clear picture, but this is the map of the donation. That's the foundation of the 1 mile square. 1 mile square. This is the 2x2 square. This right here is called the 1 mile square. This right here is called the donation from the corporation. This is 1 mile square. This is a 2 mile, 2x2 square, or double square right here. And this is 1 mile square. As you can see, it's divided into a 5x5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No matter how you put the numbers, 13 is always in the center. Just as this original Babylonian tablet of destiny, this house right here, and this 12th house, this 13th house, Babylonian tablets, is number 13 in the center. They get the Mars square, which is 13. Anyhow, this is the original map of the donation from the corporation.